The success of this video will determine whether or not I have to eat a toothpaste sandwich. What's going on, YouTube? I'm finally back. I'm glad to see you guys again, and I am ready to make a new video. Now, for those of you who don't know, my family also plays the Elder Scrolls Online, so I, like them, was giggling over the weekend like a little schoolgirl. What do I think the next class in the Elder Scrolls Online is going to be? And honestly, I think I have a pretty concise, conducive answer to give to you, and I'm very excited to share that with you guys. So we're going to be jumping on into that. But first, I am so confident, in fact, that this is going to be a new class either in the Q2 or the Q4 update, that not only did the people on stream believe it after reading the developer letter, but everyone in my family believed it, even those that didn't play Elder Scrolls Online. I was like, look, there's this game, it's called Elder Scrolls Online. You've probably seen Skyrim before. It's been released like 50 times. It's like that, but different, same universe. And they were like, And by the end, they were convinced. New class coming this year, 2023. So, what do I think that new class will be? I'm going to give a quick addendum in that I think that the Telvani Peninsula is where the next zone storyline is going to take place. Hack the Minotaur does an amazing video on this, and I think that what he kind of highlights in there is very accurate to also what I believe, and that they're going to be hinting at it. The Elder Scrolls is notorious for hinting at different types of zone storylines before they actually release the zone storylines. But I don't think the zone storyline will impact it too much, but I do think it will impact it to a degree. What I think is more interesting, though, is I think that we're going to see a lot of the powers from another Skyrim DLC brought into this Elder Scrolls expansion. Why do I think that? And I think that the most successful addition to the game was the Western Skyrim DLC. The highest player count Elder Scrolls had ever seen was during the Western Skyrim, Dark Heart of Skyrim year-long event. And I think that they're going to try to recreate that to an extent. But what did they do in that? They actually almost rehashed the Dawnguard DLC. And in Blackwood, another very successful expansion that brought a lot of amazing new things, they basically just rehashed the story of Oblivion. And in Morrowind, when they did that many years ago, that saw a huge spike in player counts, they almost rehashed, part of the Morrowind, different types of storylines. Not to the same extent, but you got to really see and experience the land on how it would impact the storyline, down the road. So, my theory is that we are actually going to see Miraak. For those of you who do not remember him, he was a part of another Skyrim expansion, and I believe that Hermaeus Mora is going to be involved in this expansion on the Telvani Isle. Now, why do I think that? And I think that because we're kind of done with the whole Daedra invading, we've done it so many times, bringing your realm into my realm. I think we're going to go back into the deep, dark secrets of the political espionage and the uncovering of different dark magic, dark magic, that I think that's going to be the primary focus. In fact, if you remember, that chick who stole all the power from the Flames of Ambition, what the hell happened to her? We haven't seen her since Fargrave, and I would bet that she's going to reappear on the Telvani Isle. She's going to be involved again. So, how is that going to play into a class? I'm really more talking about a storyline at this point, and that's because there's 8 different types of magic in the Elder Scrolls Online, and you don't really see a lot of them. You don't even see most of them. And I think that the actual new class is going to really focus on them, specifically illusion magic and alteration magic, but I think there's going to be a twist. I think that it's also going to include some of the powers that we saw in the Black Pages in Skyrim. I almost think that we're going to have maybe some minor powers almost of like Hermaeus Mora, because I think that he's going to potentially be an integral part into the storyline. Not to an extensive degree, but I do think that at some point the Elder Scrolls will include these types of magic, and what better way to do it than right now, when we're going to probably be focusing on a zone storyline that has a huge focus on different types of magic, dark secrets, other types of Daedra that we don't get to really interact with. We're probably also going to see Azura, we're probably also going to see Boethia, we're probably going to see Mephala, but in more of their natural forms, more so when they're acting as, people who are trying to overthrow regimes or getting people to love them or fight and die for them or uncover and do things for them. I think that's how we're going to see it. And I think that potentially we're going to see the individual who stole, if you remember this, she stole these flames of ambition. We're going to see her either turn to a Daedric prince, get captured by a Daedric prince, brought to their realm. She could potentially be captured by Hermaeus Mora. We know Hermaeus Mora, with what he did to Mirac, he enjoys having those powerful people basically under his control, and I think that's how we might get some Easter eggs to Mirac, potentially seeing his involvement while trapped in Hermaeus Mora's realm. I think that would be a really interesting callback to, that Skyrim DLC, because honestly, we've seen and kind of rehashed a lot of DLC and plot points from different Elder Scrolls games, and I think that was a hugely popular expansion that they did, and I think that they're going to do it again. So that's kind of my theory. What I think these powers are going to focus on, I think, are really going to be tied to those black pages, and specifically illusion and alteration magic, potentially also destruction magic, because honestly, if you play a sorcerer right now, none of your sorcerer skills give you the ability to wield really destruction magic in the same way. You don't really throw flames or stuff out of your hands, so I think honestly, even the sorcerer, who's supposed to be, the most magic-wielding, gabagoo, he's not really doing it, So I think that the sorcerer focuses more on your conjuration and your restoration magic with a little bit of destruction. Obviously, you have things like Mage's Fury and whatnot, but really not a lot of, the other pieces. Like, mysticism. Mysticism wasn't even in the Elder Scrolls Online. That's a whole different type of magic line. So I think we're really going to see those different types of magic, because I think that the primary focus is going to be magic with this storyline. I know a lot of people think that it's going to be a monk. We're going to see some unarmed, combat where you punch people, potentially a bard. I think those are honestly great guesses, and I hope that those could potentially be good backup options so I don't have to eat the toothpaste, but I don't see it for me, because one, I think for like a monk, I think monks are too close to Templars, and that I feel like they're not different enough. And that I feel like, yes, you could have some guy with a shaved head who, fights in the name of something holy, the Aedra or whatever, but I think that's just too close to what a Templar is, in my opinion. And I don't think that they're going to add unarmed skills, because I think that's almost adding a weapon line and a class at the same time. I definitely think it would be awesome, don't get me wrong, but I think the primary focus we're going to start seeing is definitely going to be magic, dark magic, forbidden magic. I don't know what this class will be called. They could call it an illusionist, an alterationist, probably something a little bit more catchy, because unfortunately I am not good at naming things. But I do think that that's what we are going to be seeing. But what do you guys think? Because I think that there's definitely a lot of clues. I think that we could potentially see a lot of different interaction from the Aedra or the Daedra in this expansion. Because remember, too, they've already stated this will be a multi-year long storyline, which means that we're going to see a storyline similar to the Clockwork City and Vardenfell and all those other pieces and places that we went, and then to Somerset, where we saw multiple Daedric princes, multiple levels of storytelling. So what do you guys think that that's going to entail, and do you think that it will affect the class, or do you think the class is almost secondary? Because if those of you who played elsewhere, they added the Necromancer class. Did it really feel like there was really any good ties from Necromancy to elsewhere? Not a whole lot, in my opinion, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the class has to be fully tied into it or not, which means that this obviously, could potentially be something different. But that's where I think that I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think? And obviously in the comments below, leave a comment, because you're entered into the giveaway, and you'll be able to enter if you would like to subscribe to, be a good little Christmas present for your YouTuber guy. I would appreciate it, then you might be wondering yourself, well, what are you going to give me for Christmas? And to that I go, well, I give two of you guys, ESO Plus, two every month. So help me out by subscribing. I'll help you guys out by continuing the giveaway. And again, please let me know your thoughts and comments below, because I need your theories. I need to know what you guys are thinking. I'm pinning this on Hermaeus Mora. I think that they've had so much success for those good storylines, and that storyline where you went to Solstheim was just, it was amazing. Maybe they'll add the ability to throw exploding spiders again. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm putting all my money on red on the lottery wheel. I'm actually putting it more on like a number and on red, but That's where I think it's going to be, and that's my theories, and that's what evidence I have to back it up. We've talked about this a lot on stream, so I won't rehash it too much for you, but thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.
You better remember to like and subscribe to Jake Clips. Or you should. I might have to pluck your eyes if you don't. Or, better yet, I'll skip rope with your entrails. Do it now. Subscribe. Ta-ta. Off with you.
Thanks again for you guys who stuck around after the end. I love you all. Let me know what your guys' theories are. Do you like videos like this? Should I talk about more about what I think the new zone storyline should be? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys later. Tomorrow will probably be a stream, so you'll catch me around 6 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch/YouTube streaming, and I'll see you there. Bye, guys.